Good day, folks. Thank you so much for joining us once again. Today we have with us Mohsin Ali. Came to Canada and then he became an entrepreneur. And we would like to know his journey as to what led him to make this decision. So, Mohsin, thank you to the show. And if you can get started by telling us a little bit about yourself first.
Thank you, Sad. First of all, thank you for having me here and happy to be on this platform. Followed a couple of your episodes and really like the structure and the honest discussions that you have. So appreciate being here. My journey uh, from a professional point of view, I've been in marketing in a lot of companies from CPG to healthcare. And then roughly about 5 years back, during the pandemic, I started helping a couple of my friends with their businesses. And the impact that I saw working with smaller businesses built a new love in me for helping startups and small businesses versus working in larger organizations. During that journey of working with startups, I found out about the ecosystem that's in Canada and the US around startups. And I realized that the place to be to help startups, on top of course, uh, vying for that better future for your kids, was in Canada, the easiest route to that. So we moved to Canada about roughly about 3 years back. And that's where I started working with different startups in different capacities and also on my own startup. So entrepreneurship was part of my blood from earlier on. It just came to the top 5 years back.
Interesting. So, maybe if you can dig a little bit deeper into your experience back home.
Sure. I am a born FMCG marketeer, the way we call CPG over here. I worked in companies like Craft Biscuits, Colgate-Palmolive, National Foods in Pakistan, then Reckitt for a very long time, where I was leading the innovation, the regional strategy for a brand called Shoal. And across all these companies, as is the case with any traditional brand marketeer, you're in charge of the entire P&L, so good exposure in trade marketing, in P&L management and financials, etc. Then roughly about 6 to 7 years back, and you learn this is a common theme of how I approach things, where I like to unlearn, to relearn, to do new things. I realized that the future of things will be in healthcare. So I left CPG and I joined healthcare with a company called Bechton Dickinson, BD. They're the pioneers when it comes to medtechs and medical devices. And spent about 3.5 years, 3 years there approximately, did reasonably well. But that's the point where I fell in love with startups and I started working with a couple of startups out of Dubai. That was the time that I was in Dubai. And that's where the journey continued on.
Perfect. That's good to know. So, in terms of the startup, was there a specific motivation that led you to start the company that you started now? And maybe tell us a little bit about that as well.
Like I mentioned, when I started helping my friends with their small businesses, the impact I was creating in not only helping the businesses scale, but also the independence and autonomy I had in quick execution, test and learn. That was really exhilarating. And that's why I thought that I want to help small companies grow. Uh, Hence, the company which I consult with called Ready Set Grow came into being because we want to help small businesses, startups, SMEs grow to their true potential. The gap that these companies have is they've got a very smart and passionate and visionary founder, and they've got a very good execution team. They might be sales team, they might be product team, they might be whatever it is. The gap in the middle, which I found, was the strategic thinking, which we call go-to-market over here. I realized that my expertise was in the go-to-market, and whatever value I was able to add to these smaller organizations was helping them grow. So, to your answer, very shortly and very quickly, Ready Set Grow is there to help entrepreneurs and small businesses grow their business from where they are to the potential there can be with strong strategic frameworks and go-to-market plans.
Perfect. I believe you have a fractional ownership in certain concerns as well right now, or is that something on the cards?
So what the way that my model works within this company is that I join these companies as a fractional director, where I work 1 days or 2 days with them, so that we get to know each other. We build a trust, we build a relationship. They know that I'm not just about the talk, but I can also walk the talk as well. After that, we either continue in the fractional mode, where I continue delivering whatever their needs are, working 2 days with them, or we agree on a more formal and more permanent, more complete sort of a contract. So fractional director is something which is part of the DNA of my model. So it's easy on the entrepreneur and easy for me as well, not only from a financial point of view, but also from a relationship building point of view.
Makes sense. Makes sense. In terms of, I know, anyway, we'll probably delve into that maybe in some later conversations some other time. But for the moment, For those individuals who are coming out to Canada, and there's always a struggle, when you're coming here, you're looking for a job or you're looking for starting your own business or whatever. A lot of folks tend to tilt towards the more stable income sources. What would be your advice for those individuals in their given situations, how to go about doing this?
So for me, every person has their own personality and how much of a risk-taking appetite they have. Entrepreneurship is not for anyone. And we talked about this when we met the other day as well. Entrepreneurship takes a lot of guts. It takes a lot of risks. It takes a lot of effort as well. A stable job is a stable job. But in today's environment, you can't put all your eggs in one basket. So as you move to a country like Canada, what you should do is you should be open to different scenarios. Try different things out, just like you would in any marketing situation. You don't know what will stick. So you have different tests and learns. The way that I did it, I tried entrepreneurship, I tried my own startup, and I tried the fractional director. And I had 3 different streams of initiatives going around each of these. What my recommendation to anyone new would be, don't do the same thing or keep doing the same thing and expecting new results. Try different things. And as a marketer, put some milestones and KPIs of success behind that. Wherever you see success, pivot there. But entrepreneurship gives you a lot of freedom to control what you want to do, how you can scale it. So the impact that you drive is meaningful to both the people that you're servicing as well as you. I don't know if that answered your question, but I
No,
again
perfect.
tend
No,
to
no,
get
no,
philosophical in these
no. It
questions.
is a real philosophy discussion as well, regardless. But thank you so much, Mohsin, for your time today. As you know, we try to keep it short and brief in these conversations. So we will be connecting with you on entrepreneurship as we have discussed previously. So we will have a smaller snippets with you. We will like to discuss and make some deeper dives into that area. But thank you so much for your time today. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for having me.